Well, good evening and welcome to About the Valley. I want to let you know that tonight we're going to be doing two consecutive shows in a row because it's the end of June and I'm going off the air. We're not going to do a show next week and we're taking the rest of the summer off. We'll be back in September. But we have two more people to get in here and we're getting it done tonight. We're marathon night, 2 hours straight. And my guest tonight is Zathan Simpson, and he is the owner and everything else, right?
Right.
At CrossFit Athletic Center, and they're located on 146. And it's actually it's like a shopping mall
Right.
because it's a one-stop fitness place.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got I own the fitness facility there, CrossFit AC, and then to the left we have there's a supplement store that another one of our coaches he owns, and then next door I think he's been on this show before,
Yes.
Sean at Concierge,
At Concierge
physical
Rehab.
therapy there. Yeah.
So you can go get yourself rehabilitated, go next door, see Zathan, and he'll keep you in shape.
Right.
And go after that, you can go over and get your supplements
Yep. Get some healthy
to
stuff.
help you keep yourself in shape.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Okay, so it's a one-stop center.
Yep.
I think
truly is.
you're right after TLC or before TLC?
It's right before it.
Just before TLC.
Right before it.
Yeah, on the southbound side of 146.
Southbound side. Yep. Too close to Tony's.
Yeah.
It's a good place.
Yeah.
The pizza place.
I know, huh? Yeah, one thing with Tony's is you get so much to eat. I mean, I like to go there because I get 2 meals out of it.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah.
We stop there frequently on the way home.
But you stay in shape.
But we stay in shape. Yeah, it's always about a good balance,
Yeah.
which I think everyone should be working towards, is a balance of having fun, but keeping yourself healthy.
Well, I not really new, but in the last, we'll say, 10 to 15 years, gyms have become very popular. I mean, we had them in the past, but a lot of people didn't go to the gym, and of course they all look it too.
Yeah.
But we're finding that this has become real popular now to join a gym, right?
Right, and I think with the epidemic in America of just obesity and diabetes and honestly with social media and more ways to get information, the word is finally getting out there that the standard American diet and sedentary lifestyle is not healthy and not good for longevity of life. So I think that it has helped and kind of started to pick up fitness in general, and people just being a little more health conscious.
Well, are you finding it's more generational?
Actually, no. I here recently, we've signed up several new members who, we call them the baby boomers,
Yeah.
and some people who might have been kind of afraid to come to a gym like ours. And then also, we've signed up a lot here recently, college-age students too, and they can work out right next to each other. And so it's, I think initially it was a little bit of a younger group coming in, but now we're kind of seeing, the elderly population knowing they need to do something to stay moving,
Right.
so that they can, maybe play with their grandkids or go for a hike and not be so tired and things like that.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I think that boomers look younger than their grandparents did at the same age. My grandfather, I think he died, I think he was 68 years old, and he died of colon cancer.
Okay.
But he was not in the shape I'm in, and I'm 71.
There you go.
And I don't feel 71. I don't act like I'm 71. And I think that was you're finding that. And, probably a lot of it is a better diet over the years. I can't say I've had a great diet over the years. I'm diabetic now, but I got it under total control. I'm not on insulin.
That's really good. Yeah. What do
So-
you do to stay active?
Well, I do exercise, but I'm in 100 different things.
Yeah.
I got 100 things going.
Yeah.
I'm busy all the time.
Yeah.
I keep working. These are all the things that I do. I take care of my own lawn. I take care of my own yard. I don't hire a landscape company.
Yeah.
So
It's keeping you young.
yeah, it keeps you going. The key is I do have arthritis. I don't feel it. I had a phone call today. Oh, we got a pain remedy we'd like to send you. I said, I don't need it.
Yeah.
Oh, we thought you, no, they must have found my record somewhere or other. I don't walk like arthritis in my knees. I walk fine.
Yeah.
I don't feel any pain.
Yeah, it's definitely you staying active, I think,
Yeah.
by, doing
Well,
yard work and things like
Motion
that.
is lotion.
Right, yep.
You know, that's, I heard that saying a while back. And
That's
I
a good
said,
one.
It's right on target.
Yeah, you start to not use a muscle group or something, starts
Yeah.
to tighten up and get,
But let's get into what you do now.
Yeah.
People come in, you sign up for the program?
Yeah, so it's a strength and conditioning program catered to literally anyone and everyone who, is just looking for a healthier lifestyle. Maybe losing some weight, or maybe it's just gaining some muscle strength for some activities that they do outside of the gym and outside of work, or maybe even for work. And so what we do is we put on a 1 hour long class, and we have 8 classes throughout the day, and we just go through functional movements and teach people how to properly do things that they're doing already every day in
Yeah.
life, sitting down in a chair and standing up out of a chair and picking things up off the ground. We want to teach people how to properly do those things.
Yeah, so you don't injure your back.
Exactly. And we want to build muscles,
Yeah.
build those muscles around areas so that you're less likely to get an injury and things like that. So working also as a preventative as well. Some bunch of studies coming out recently is say elderly people should be weightlifting, and all that stuff is relative.
Yeah.
We've got some newer older people in our gym, and they're weightlifting, but it's a 10-pound bar and things
Right.
like that. But they show that these studies have come out and shown that they really help with building bone density and things that as we age naturally degress. So by doing this type of a program, it's kind of helping you out all around.
You don't have a lot of exercise machinery, right?
No, not like you would see in a typical gym.
Right.
We have a lot of free weights, dumbbells, barbells, pull-up rigs. So we kind of like to say our body is our machine, and we want to work around this. And
Right,
so,
you do it with the old-fashioned way of,
yeah.
with the weights and,
Yep. Yeah, we really, we squat with balls, and we squat, with weights. We squat with no weights.
the way the fighters always trained.
Yeah, I think military and combat sports have taken a liking to this type of training because it's more functional for them
Well,
and what
that's
they
the type of
actually
training
do.
I had when I was in basic training.
Yeah, exactly, and then it probably
A lot of
it's way better
calisthenics.
than going to a regular gym and just working on a machine because
Right.
it's those are isolating different muscle groups, which is fine, but for overall fitness, that's what we're looking for. So to be competent
Yeah.
in a whole array of different aspects of fitness.
Now, can someone come in and just take for one day or something like that and learn? Or is it a program you sign up for?
Yeah, so it is a program that you sign up for, but we always like people to come in and just try a class to even see if it's something that they would be interested
Oh, okay.
in. Yeah, and we always, we offer everyone's first class is always free, and it just gets your foot in the door to say, hey, all right, what is this CrossFit thing
Well, that's
I hear
important.
about?
Yeah. You give them a chance to come in for nothing.
Right.
How can
You
go
really got
wrong?
nothing to lose.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing with exercising, it takes a lot of self-discipline.
It does.
If you're going to say, I'm going to do it at home, let me tell you, it's easy to fall out of it.
And that's what we see, and a lot of people tell us that, they go to a regular gym and, they're working out by themselves. It's really easy to get demotivated. And so
Yep.
with, a class that's led by a trained instructor telling you what to do from beginning to the end of class.
Yep.
And then you're also doing it with a bunch of other people who our community is really cool. We have a lot of great people of all different ages. And so when you're seeing someone next to you working hard, it motivates you to work hard
Well,
too.
we tend to like the teamwork.
Exactly.
If you see the training that a special forces person goes through where they're lifting the telephone pole as a group, that's to develop team effort.
Right.
And that's what you're doing too, right? It's a team effort.
Yes, there's a lot of team effort type stuff. Whether it is in a workout or not, I think the whole camaraderie there
Yeah.
is really motivating to people, and it helps people stick to a program a lot longer than doing that on their own.
Yeah, because that's the hardest thing with exercising. If you're going to do it on your own, I can guarantee you, you may last a week at best.
Hmm.
But then you go, well, I don't feel like doing it today.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, the next day, oh, I don't.
Yeah.
And the first thing you know, you're not doing it anymore.
And what's cool about our gym and our program, me being the owner, most gyms that you typically see and go to, they're waiting for your $20 a month and hope you don't show up.
Yeah.
For my case, that's not it. If you don't show up for a week or a few days, you wouldn't be surprised getting a phone call from me and an email and like, hey, where are you at? And then also, with the people that you meet inside the classes, you probably become buddies with someone, and
Yeah.
then they're like, hey, where were you yesterday?
Yeah,
and then it's
yeah,
like,
we were
oh,
here
I can't
working out.
slack
Where were
off.
you?
Yeah, exactly. So, the accountability within this type of a program is really good compared to most other things.
By the way, 508-266-0990. You can call and talk to Zathan about it. You have kind of a different name.
I do. Yeah. My mom just said she was wanting to name me either Zach or Nathan, and then it just kind of, I don't know, came
Yeah.
together. So,
Because Nathan is a common name,
yep.
but Zathan's a little bit different. But then people remember it.
That is one good thing. Yep. I do have to explain to people a lot, like kind of where it came from and how to say it, but it does, people do stick to that name and remember it.
You must have a little bit of a problem when you go to the bank or something. No, that can't be right.
Oh, I do all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right.
They always say, "Oh, you said Nathan," and I'm like, "No, it's actually Zathan with the
Yeah,
Z."
they don't believe it.
Yeah, they don't.
You put the wrong letter there.
Yeah, exactly. But it does have its pros too.
Well, just I don't want to digress too much, but back in the 60s, the hippie movement, they were naming their kids weird names, like Pooh Bear and Cuddles and stuff. And they were actually doing that.
Wow.
And I'm thinking about, those kids grew up. I wonder how they made
Those
out with
wacky
those
names. Yeah.
And there was some that was really strange, but
I think you see some of that coming back maybe a little bit these days. Some people name their kids some crazy stuff.
well, names cycle. They'll be old-fashioned and then they'll come back. But anyway, you're from Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so not a New Englander, but
Yeah. So my
well, I guess a Midwest. Yeah.
Midwest. Yeah, I'm from Southern Oklahoma, so it's pretty close to Texas. But
Yeah.
my wife is from Whitensville, and
Yeah. How did you meet?
yeah, so we met at Reebok headquarters, and it used to be in Canton, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Now it's in Seaport. So we met there. She was in college and
You both
working
worked
there.
at Reebok?
Yes, yep. So I was working with the gym side. So
How
Reebok.
did you manage to get a job at Reebok from Oklahoma?
Well, that's kind of a crazy story too. To keep it short, I was living in the Virgin Islands.
Oh,
And
wow, you've been all over
I have been all over the
wow.
place. So I had, I moved to the Virgin Islands and I had gotten into fitness.
Yeah.
And my whole life I'd been an athlete. I played college basketball and I'd been into sports and working out and I'd done the traditional working out. And then when I moved to the islands, I found this fitness program called CrossFit and I really took a liking to it. So I went to the local gym there and became best friends with a guy who ended up getting a job at Reebok in Boston. So moving from there to up here. And then I had moved back to Oklahoma for a short time, and he called me up saying that there was a position,
You got an
like an
opening
intern
up here
position at Reebok.
Come on up.
Yeah, so I packed my Jeep up and drove up here. Never been here before, and and just kind of.
So that had to be a real experience.
It was, and but I'm so thankful for it. It led
Yeah.
me to meet my now wife, and you
Yeah.
know, and start a career up here, and
Wow.
so she's from Whitensville.
Yeah.
So we, kind of decided to settle down in this area.
Now, the CrossFit center was there when you came here, right?
Yes.
Someone else had it.
Right. So we just bought this gym from the old owners in March 1st. So it's been about 4 or 5 months. I had done everything with inside of a CrossFit gym except own it. So, I started out at Reebok as an intern,
Yeah.
learning under some of the best coaches in the world. One of those coaches opened up a gym. I started coaching there, and then just kind of slowly, progressing and,
Yep.
trying to. I knew that this was a passion for me. I really, really enjoy helping people, whether it's, helping them lose weight or gain confidence. And so this was just, I knew it was what I wanted to do. And so I just kind of worked my way up until it was the opportunity presented itself, and my wife and I decided it was time.
And you both left Reebok?
We both left Reebok. Yep. She was working at Reebok because she was in college, and
Yeah.
they have the college at Northeastern has a co-op program. So
Oh,
she was
yes,
doing work
yes,
and
yeah.
school at the same time. So when she graduated, she moved on, and she now works at Hasbro in Pawtucket. She does marketing for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the toy company.
Yep. The toy company, game company, Clue,
Yeah.
Monopoly.
Home of
all
Mr.
that.
Potato Head.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is
yeah.
Mr. Potato Head, right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, because they have a big one in front
Yeah.
of their headquarters.
that's what they're famous for.
Yeah.
Mr. Potato Head.
But
Great
yes,
company.
yes, it is. She's really enjoying it. Yeah. But yeah, so now I'm running the gym and keeping things up with that, and
Yeah.
she's got her job, but she helps me out a lot.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
But you got the best job in the world because it's something you like to do. And that's what I
Yeah.
always say. It doesn't matter what you do. If you like it, that's what matters. Because
Right.
you're going to spend all day at it.
Exactly.
So
And
get
there's been
something
some
you like.
long days there since
Yeah.
we took over, but it's I love what I do. I love to see even in the short amount of time that we've had it, the people who have come in and already seen weight loss and strength increased and cardiovascular endurance increase. It's really fun to see and
Yeah,
watch people
and like
better
you say,
themselves.
you're getting it's a whole range of ages. It's not just young people. It's people, older people, people in their 70s, right?
Yep. Yeah, we have several people who are in their 60s, 70s. We don't have anyone in our 80s yet, but the old gym I used to work at,
Yeah.
I used to work with a guy who was in his 80s, and he would work out right next to the young guys. And everything is modified to that person's abilities, and so you can still do the same workout as someone else, but you just modify it a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. But but any workout, you work up to your next position.
Exactly.
You build up your muscles and
Yeah, but one thing that we get a lot that isn't true is they think that they have to get in shape before coming, and that's just one thing that's absolutely not true.
no,
Come
actually,
as you are.
You
and-
want them in there before they get in shape, so you can get them into shape.
right, and make sure that they're doing it the right
Yeah,
way.
because you can really hurt yourself by not doing it right.
Yes, and that's what kind of separates us from other gyms is because it's personal training in a group setting. So
Yep.
you might be in a class with 10 other people, but there's a coach with a careful eye on every single person and making sure that you're moving correctly. And if you're not, we come up to you and correct it, and and it's just a gradual from there.
So is that the difference between CrossFit and we'll say other gyms? I don't mention any names, but other gyms where you go in, you might get your personal trainer and they'll show you what to do and why, and sit with you for an hour or whatever you do.
Yeah, I think what kind of separates us from a personal trainer is, we do offer personal training, but personal training one-on-one sessions is very expensive.
I can imagine.
And for
yeah.
the most
you gotta
most
pay
people,
someone for that time.
Yeah, exactly, and for I know typical hourly rates are $50 to $100 per hour, so
Wow.
that's just for one session. So what this does, it allows people to continue to get the careful eye of somebody, but also make it affordable because other people are doing it as well.
Yeah.
But personal training is good and has its place, and we offer that at our gym if someone thinks that they need that special attention for just them. But one thing that we've seen and I know to be true is we can lead a good class full of a ton of people in it
Yep.
and make sure that they're safe and they're getting just as much out of it.
Yeah, and it keeps the cost down.
Exactly.
So you go in, you can get the same training that you would get as an individual, but in a group, and you don't pay as much.
And most people prefer that too. It's, you
Yeah.
know, when the coach isn't standing next to you the whole entire time,
Right.
you know, it's,
You're yelling in your ear.
yeah, exactly. So it's, you know, and then you've got people around you helping you push yourself, and but it's a fun job, and you know, I think one of the messages that we just want to get out there to people is that it is literally for anyone and everyone. Like I said, I've worked with an 80-year-old man, and he used to work out right next to this kid, you know,
Yeah.
in high school, and they would work out next to each other, and it was the same workout, just looked a little different. You know, the kid had a little more weights on it. You know,
Yeah.
the older gentleman, you know, maybe wasn't doing as many repetitions as that kid, but they were getting. They at the end of the day, they had fun. They got a good workout in, and yeah.
Yeah, that's quite the thing. I guess I want to get back to you personally again because that's pretty interesting. What sent you out to the Virgin Islands?
Well, you know, as a high school, I kind of had everything mapped out, you know, and had a plan for most of my life. And I went to college, and I played a little bit of college basketball in Oklahoma at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
I was a walk-on. And
Great
and
school.
Yeah, Cowboys, go Cowboys. My sister is
Yeah.
there right now. She cheers, does the pom team there, and so we got a lot of family. I love Oklahoma State. But
A good athletic school.
good athletic school, very good. Right now, wrestling is really big. They've kind of always been big in
Yeah.
wrestling, but wrestling and golf, they just won the national championship in golf.
Yes, that's
And,
right.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you watch golf at all?
No, but I follow a little bit.
Yeah, so like the PGA, the amateur that won this last weekend was from Oklahoma State.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, but yeah,
I don't
so
watch it because I think it's boring to watch. But
I like the big tournaments.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so I went to school, kind of didn't know what I wanted to do, and I'd always wanted to go back down there. I'd been there on vacation, and I was like, hey, I'm just gonna move down there, and I did, and I, you know, worked at a bar for like a year.
So you just wanted to go live in the Caribbean,
Yeah,
and say, I like that concept. I mean, that's, you know, I like people doing what they want to do.
yeah, and that was the first time I moved there. I moved back and forth three
And you
times to
didn't
the
know-
islands.
didn't even know you had a job there, right? You just went.
The first time, yes. The first time, didn't even have a job and just
The
kind of
American
made
Virgin
it
Islands,
happen.
right?
Yes.
Yes,
American
you
Virgin
didn't
Islands.
need a passport.
Nope, didn't need a passport, and I'd done my research though, and I knew, you know, I could make it happen. And I'm kind of the person that, like, when I set a goal or say I'm going to
Yeah.
do something, I like to follow through and see what happens, and at least know that I gave it everything I had.
Yeah.
Or,
I mean, it's taking a big chance. You're going to get.
Oh, it was.
What if I don't get a job? You know?
well, looking back, I'm kind of like, oh man, that was a
Yeah.
little gutsy of me.
Yeah, I mean, unless you get a round trip ticket, well, you may not be able to get back.
Right. But yeah, so that's how I got down there, and then I moved home, went back to school, then moved back to the Virgin Islands, and that second time was when I really got into being a little more health conscious and stuff.
What did you go to school? What did you major in?
So my major at the time was business, but I didn't end up finishing
Yeah.
because I got kind of headfirst into this.
The
and
reason
moved
I
to
asked is
Reebok.
I find so many people don't work at their major.
Right.
They might major in something, but then when they get in the real world, they're doing something altogether different.
Within the CrossFit community, with, you know, some of my mentors, their life kind of started that way too. They,
Yeah.
you know, they thought they had to go to school for this and get a business degree and all these different things that they're told to do, and then, you know, that wasn't their passion. So, and then they kind of found it and veered off and started to do their own thing, and
Yeah.
that's kind of how I went as well.
Yeah, it happens a lot. I mean, that's why sometimes you wonder, is college really necessary?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think, you know, I think my wife and I are a really good example of how it can be very beneficial and how it doesn't have to be. So my wife, she went to Northeastern, and
Yeah,
she
great school.
very good school, and she went for marketing. She got her marketing degree. Now she has a great job at Hasbro. It really
Yeah.
did help her to get to where she's at. For me, on the other hand, you know,
I will tell you, marketing majors, I worked for a radio station, and I worked in sales all my life. I find that people that go to school for marketing tend to go into it
Yes,
for some reason, you know, because they really like it.
right.
Where people who major, I find people major in history. Well, unless you're a history teacher or you're a museum curator, really, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So they end up doing something else, but the degree is something, it's a measurement for getting a job. I mean, some places don't want to talk to you unless you got a degree,
Right.
even though it may not be related.
Yeah, and for her, it's
Yeah.
been amazing for her, and the credentials she had going into it. But I do think
What a great
but
job,
she
too.
knew what she
Marketing-
wanted to do right out
marketing
of.
toys, what a great job.
Yeah,
That's
she
gonna
does.
be
She's in
interesting.
the gaming section, so with board games and stuff. But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
She comes home with a lot of cool stuff and
Yeah.
games and those Nerf blasters and things
I'd like
like
to have
that.
her on sometime. I could find that pretty interesting to
Yeah,
talk about.
I'll talk to her about it.
Yeah, I
We'll
would.
get her
I'd
on
love to
here.
do that. We'll be back in September,
Okay.
especially coming up to Christmas.
There you go. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
a good time.
Because,
That's their busiest time of year. I know.
we know about electronic games, and electronic games are big, and you got games on your telephone, you got games on your TV, everywhere. But board games, I think, are coming back
They are, and she.
because they're more interactive.
Right, and I think some of the nostalgia of
Yeah.
back before all this technology, your classic games, Monopoly, Clue,
Yeah.
and all of those that she works on, they stay pretty popular because when people walk by and see that, they think of their childhood and things like
It makes
that.
for a good family night.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Instead of sitting around watching TV or playing war games on TV, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, anyway, then so you ended up in Virgin Islands. That must have been quite an experience, though.
It was. It was. Some of the best times I've had in my life. It was a good
Great
time.
weather year round.
You can't beat that. Yeah, it's definitely different than up here. It's kind of like it was today, every day of the year there.
Yeah.
So, it was a lot of fun to, get to work out on the beach and things like that. And I really got to learn about
And
fitness.
CrossFit was there, right?
Yeah, there's a gym down there, Reebok CrossFit St. Thomas.
So this is actually a national chain
Yes, so it's
under a franchise.
it is, but they're individually operated. So, the best way for me to kind of put it in perspective for people who kind of, not every single CrossFit gym within an area is the same, and they're individually operated because we're not told what to do, what to program.
Okay, so
you
they
know.
don't set you up.
We're pretty much just
you set
paying
up your
for a
own
trademark
program.
of the name. That's pretty much what it is.
Okay, yeah.
And then from there, each gym is individually different, and so you could go to one gym and it'd be totally different from kind of what
Right.
we do. Overall, the aspect would be similar, but what I would tell people is to always do your due diligence and your research on what type of CrossFit gym you're going to, and who the coaches are, and what their credentials are, and how long they've been doing it, and things like that. Because there could technically be someone could open up a CrossFit gym right next to me, and there's no rules against.
Oh, really? So there's no territory.
There is no territory rules, and I think it's pretty neat though, because the founder of CrossFit, he's a big believer in the cream will always rise to the top, and
Yep.
so the people who are doing the right thing, who are doing the right things for the right reasons, they will stick out over those who aren't, and I think that is pretty true. CrossFit as a whole, there's tons of them out there. It is getting a little saturated with a bunch of people opening up gyms left and right, but you don't see those sticking around for very long.
Well, and it's probably a little cheaper to open up than one of these gyms that have all this equipment.
Yeah, it definitely probably is. I couldn't tell you for sure. I haven't been into that, but if I had to guess, it's probably definitely a little bit cheaper,
Yeah.
just because we don't have a ton of equipment and things like that.
But you don't need it. You offer a good program without it.
Right.
And it probably makes more sense because you can't bring that equipment home.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, we're all about functionality.
Yeah.
We
You can train someone to do things and they can continue doing it at home as well, so they can.
Right, and we're all about the functionality aspect of it. Making sure people can get up off the ground safely and build the strength to, and making sure they can get up out of a seat and or carry a child up a hill and things like that. We're all about the lifestyle.
Now, do you get into diet with them,
So
nutrition?
we definitely talk about it. When it comes to specific diets, I would refer that person to a trained dietitian
dietitian,
professional.
yeah.
But what we have seen though too is it doesn't have to be complicating. So what we normally do with new clients who come in and are looking for, weight loss or just more energy and, whatever it may be, we do tell them that nutrition is the base. You can't outwork a bad diet. And, how we believe nutrition should be is simple. You just eat your meats and vegetables, your nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, and stay away from added sugar. And I've seen time and time again that just by sticking to literally what I just said,
Yep.
and not even having to count anything, people see very good changes.
I think you do more harm trying to count, because then you just get complicated and you fall off it.
Yes, I mean, I've seen, I think it depends on the person. I'll go back to my wife and I, she's very, goal-oriented and, task-oriented and things like that. And so she does good with that type of stuff.
Right.
She likes to count the, macronutrients and keep
But
up
that's
with
because
it.
she's in marketing.
It's because she's smarter than me.
Yeah, but
And-
that's a staple of being in marketing. You're always goal-oriented and you're always
Right.
counting everything.
So that's why I do say it is person dependent. Me, I don't like to do that as much. So what I do is just I eat healthy. Whole foods.
Yep.
Things that were walking in a pasture or grew from a tree and in a field. That's the type of foods that we were created to eat. And
Right.
if we stick with those, we're going to be pretty healthy.
I lost 30 pounds when I found out I was diabetic.
Oh wow.
And I did it in like 3 months.
Yeah.
And
It's all about the want.
Doctor says, how'd you do it? I says, well, I did only one thing. And he says, well, what's that? I said, I ate less.
Yeah.
I think it's volume too.
It's
And your body's only use so much. It's like burning a wood stove. If you put a lot of wood in it, it might go out because you overloaded it.
right.
So you only need to put enough to keep it going. And that's what I just ate enough I ate 3 meals a day. I ate just enough to say I ate something.
Yeah. Portion control is definitely
Yeah.
a big factor and a lot of people's
Well,
overeating
well,
or in a lot of people's
we're-
weight problems.
We're trained like that. I mean, what do we think of? Look at how many times you hear about going to the buffet, all you can eat,
Yep.
or for one time, like we had rice chicken farm here. It was a big thing. All you can eat. Tell my wife, it's not worth it for us to go there. We don't eat that much.
Yeah. No, I definitely think the portion control is big for some people, but you wouldn't believe as well how many people undereat, and and just getting them back on track on like
Yeah.
just a normal, way of eating, 3 meals a day and having a good array of different,
Well,
fats, proteins,
if you
and
don't eat
carbs.
enough of a portion at a meal, you're going to tend to snack.
Right.
And when you snack, you're really eating the wrong stuff.
Yes. Yeah. And so, and then, and some good tips that I like to give my clients for that when they're really hungry and they feel like, something hasn't filled them up is, always, drink a big glass of water. That, that
Oh,
will kind
yes.
of suppress some of the hunger.
Yeah.
If you do snack, try to keep it to, some things like some healthy nuts or, just something like that. Not, Snicker bars or even, a lot of people think that, the fruit drinks and the sports drinks and the protein bars are, good snacks. And really when you flip the thing over and you look at the food label, it's just as bad as eating a Snickers, but
Right.
it says it's a protein thing. So people
Well, they
think
give
it's
it a
healthy.
good name.
Exactly. Marketing. They market it
Exactly. That's
in
exactly
an
what it is.
amazing way
Yeah.
to trick people. And
Yeah.
it's a shame, really. But I think some people are just kind of, maybe uneducated, and it's not their fault. Marketers do a very good job at,
Well, that's what their job is.
Exactly.
To get you to
And
buy the
that's-
product.
Exactly. So, I think, once we try to keep it really basic within nutrition, but we do tell people nutrition is the base. You can't outwork a bad diet, and we still like to, I have the occasional pizza and beer. I like to enjoy myself and
Yep.
ice cream. We like to go to JP Lit or what's the ice cream place over here on the
Oh, in West End Creamery?
Yeah, West End. We go to West End almost on a weekly basis. Once a week to kind of get a little fix, but everything in moderation. And I like the 85-15 approach. Eat healthy, really good 85% of the time, and then the other 15 have a cheat meal and things like that.
Yeah,
And it
have a
keeps your
little
life
fun.
balanced. Exactly. Yeah, that's what we like to do. We like to work hard, but we like to play hard too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's the best way of enjoying life, and it keeps you healthy, because I think if you don't treat yourself once in a while, you're going to end up binging eventually.
Yeah, and that's typically what we see is they go too strict and then they binge and then it's
Yeah.
off the wagon. It's like we need the better way. There's a better way to approach it, and that's what we like to kind of relay that type of information to our clients. So we do help out with nutrition, and then we offer a lot of other different things as far as personal training. Nutritional help advice. We've got one of our coaches who does some of that. And
You tell people they need to get enough sleep as well.
yep. So that's actually I'm glad you brought that up. That's a really big point too. Everyone should be trying to get their 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And I know some people are like, oh, I can only sleep 4 hours and things like that. And I think a lot of that could be tied into not working out and not eating right. And
Yes.
I think a lot of people find that they do have more energy during the day when they are starting to work out and eating healthy, and then they're able to sleep better at night. Their body's ready for rest. And
I don't think a lot of people realize that the importance of sleep is the fact that when you're sleeping, your body isn't sleeping, it's actually healing. It's doing a lot of things to correct things. Your body is constantly going,
exactly.
but it's actually healing itself internally. So if you don't want to get sick, you don't want to end up with cancer, you don't want to end up, and not necessarily going to be a problem, but you're going to increase the chances much more if you don't get enough rest.
You're exactly right, and that's what we tell people who come to our gym. We talk about nutrition. We talk about how to safely approach the fitness program that we offer, and then we talk to them about sleep as well. If you're not getting sleep, your muscles aren't healing themselves as quickly as they could be too. And and you kind of hit it on the head when you said it's your body's healing itself, and and everybody needs that 8 hours at least.
I mean, every living creature sleeps,
Yeah.
except for maybe some bugs that they only live for 24
I'm sure there's
hours.
something out there that's
Well, they live
Crazy.
for 24 hours or something. What the heck? There's no time to sleep. They
Yeah.
wait around for. But for the most part, all species have to sleep,
Yeah.
and there's a reason for that, because everything is your cell structure, your muscles, all have to rest a little bit,
Right. Yep.
and then they go into the healing process.
Yep. You're right.
So I mean, so that's what I said. I was granted that with you, is you're not just coming in and say, okay, well, here, pick up these dumbbells, do this. You're actually giving a full program.
Right, and I think most people, when they do come and try our program out, they learn a lot, and it's really cool. It's actually a time for us to teach you why we're doing the things we're doing,
Yep.
and and how it will benefit you if you stick to it. And then there's enough of me talking about it. Let's show you how to do it and stick with it consistently, and that's where we see the best results.
How about, do you get any people that are already ill,
Already what?
have a sickness already?
Yes. Yep. I've had people with several people with diabetes come in and
Yeah.
start this program and change their eating, work out consistently 4 or 5 days a week with us, and totally reverse their diabetes. Because type 2 diabetes is reversible for the most part. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's cases out there where it's not, but for most of us out there, most Americans out there who
Even if
have
it's
type
not,
2.
you can keep it under better control.
Exactly, but it is scientifically reversible.
Oh yeah,
for
there are
most
people that
cases.
have cured.
Yeah, and so we have seen those people come in. They're on these pills, and 6 months later, they're off the pills, and
Yep.
they're back to normal, and that is possible. And we've seen it time and time again. We've had people, I know we're talking about illnesses, but I've worked with people who also have like physical illnesses or physical
Physical disabilities.
disabilities. So one cool thing that we got to do at Reebok is we got to work with wounded veterans, and so people who have risked their lives for
Yeah.
us going overseas and missing limbs. I mean, I've worked with people with no legs, missing arms, and they can still get a CrossFit workout in too, right next to us. It's just is going to look a little
It's amazing
different.
how well some do when they put the prosthetics in.
Yeah, and that's we have had a guy actually at our gym who has stopped by occasionally. His brother comes to our gym and he's missing a leg, and he he'll take it off, do his pull-ups, put it on, run,
Yeah.
and they don't want to be treated any differently, and they and we respect that, and we get them a good workout for what life has given them.
Yeah, we got that Olympic star that has the prosthetic legs.
Yeah.
The guy from South Africa.
Oh, the one who's in prison.
Yeah.
Or- yeah.
He did pretty damn
He
good
did.
with those legs.
He did do very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he did good.
Kind of
but-
screwed up later
yeah,
on,
he,
but
he definitely didn't choose the right path after
Right.
doing so well in the
you think
Olympics.
about how well he ran with those legs.
Yeah. So, that just goes to show how adaptable the CrossFit program is for
Yeah.
anyone of any age, any ability, any disability.
Even some and cancer is a bad disease, and it's a good chance of being fatal, but you can actually help people by working out with it, right?
Yeah, I
Try and
mean,
make it subside and
yeah, I mean, I don't know the scientific data behind it, but I do know one thing that they have said with cancer patients and anyone else with those types of illnesses. And I'm not saying it's CrossFit. It can be kind of anything positive in their life can help extend those types of things and
Yeah.
and just give them a better outlook, which then in turn kind of maybe help them digress. And so.
no, definitely arthritis.
Yeah, I think, definitely people who kind of get those joints moving, even though they might be a little achy, you still need to move those joints, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to sit down in a chair or get out of a chair.
Exactly,
So it's,
and that's the way
let's
I always
work 'em.
looked at it when I got the arthritis in my legs, and I've had doctors look at my x-rays and say, I can't believe you walk. I say, yeah, I guess I don't give it up.
Yeah.
We got a call here. Let me see if I remember how to do this. Okay. Go ahead, call. You're on.
Hey, good evening.
Hi, Barry.
Good. Hey, excellent show tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I know Harry, he can relate. As you get older, you get a lot of arthritis, a lot of times in your knees or your legs.
Yeah.
And is there any type of exercise that's good for that? And if somebody came into your place and said they got a lot of issues with that arthritis, what would you recommend, or what could you do?
Yeah, so that's a good question, and we actually have quite a few people at our gym who, will relay that to me, that they have arthritis and they've been, they think that they can't do anything, and so first things first, we always tell our clients that we want pain-free range of motion. So whenever we tell you to do something, if it's painful, you need to let us know immediately so that we can switch it up. But one thing that these people do see is that, if you have arthritis in your knees, we can't stop squatting. You need to squat and you need to deadlift to be able to function in everyday life. And so what these people come in with, it's not going to cure it. I'm not saying that. But you're moving them. We're going to teach you how to move the joints in the correct way that they're supposed to move. And what these people see is that, it doesn't hurt as bad.
Yeah.
And, and I mean, sometimes too, we can dive into that with some of our people, is nutrition sometimes helps people with their arthritis. So we usually will kind of, push them to talk to someone about their diet, because, with arthritis, it's the inflammation. A lot of carbohydrates cause more inflammation. So, we try to attack it from two different sides. The fitness aspect, how to properly move that, and then also, like, let's see what you're eating and how, let's try this out. Because at the end of the day, if you have arthritis and it's painful for you, you're probably willing to try some different things out to, see if it works or not.
How about supplements? Do you give any idea on vitamin supplements they can take, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a whole foods type of person. You know, if we're eating how we should eat, we shouldn't need a whole lot of supplements.
Right.
So we're getting our protein from our meats and vegetables, or I'm sorry, our meats. We're getting our carbohydrates from vegetables and good sources. So, you know, when it becomes difficult to get that on its own through whole food, then we would say, hey, yes, you should probably look into supplements. And some other supplements, you know, like fish oils and things like that can lubricate joints, help with some people that
MSM.
have arthritis, huh?
MSM.
MSM?
Yeah, MSM. I take it for arthritis, and it helps.
Okay.
Oh, it does, Harry?
Yeah. MSM begins with I can't say it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one, but
It's
I'm sure there's a bunch out
It's a
there.
supplement. It's not a prescription,
yeah,
and it works. I take one a day, and
yeah.
I feel great.
And I think
Is
that
that over the counter?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
it's
used
over
to
the
say
counter. You
vitamin E
find
was
it in
the thing
the
for
vitamin
arthritis
section.
too.
yeah,
Fish oil.
The fish oil. I take fish oil every day.
yeah,
Right.
it's good for the joints.
I eat a
yeah,
lot of
I would
fish, too.
I would still recommend, you know, talking to a doctor, you know, and
Yeah.
just you know,
Well,
always
I do it
refer to a
with-
professional.
my doctor knows
Right.
everything I take, and he
Yeah,
agrees with it.
exactly. And
And
so
I also listed all. I go to two doctors. I go to a doctor of natural medicine as well,
oh, okay.
and she agrees with what I'm taking.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, and that's what I would recommend. I would give a suggestion, and I would have, you know, that person go relay maybe this information to the doctor and get like, you know, an
Yep.
official professional opinion on that type of stuff. But as far
Right.
as the fitness aspect of it, so what we do, you know, I definitely think it, and I've seen and people have told me that, you know, moving and keeping active does help their arthritis, you know, and it could just be all in their head, but at the
Well,
end of the
no,
day,
I
if it's in
mean,
their head and they're not feeling it,
I
it's
had
a good thing.
physical therapist tell me, motion is lotion.
You're kidding me. That's good news.
Yeah.
So you got.
Yeah, because when you lose the ability to, you know, if you're always saying, "Hey, my knees hurt, I can't squat," it's like,
Yeah.
well, how are you going to get off the toilet? I mean,
Yeah.
these are real life
well,
situations
eventually, it's
that
going
we
to
need
happen
to.
is you're going to have somebody helping you do everything. You'll be in a wheelchair.
And that's
Right.
and that's where I really like to tell people our program that we do is for longevity of life.
Yep.
We're not some fitness program that you should do for a month or 2 months. I mean, I believe and I know that we are a fitness program you should do for a lifetime because we're doing those functional movements to keep people moving.
Right.
The guy who actually got me into CrossFit, I got to mention him. He was our family doctor,
Oh.
and one thing that you know he told me, he's like, I think you'd be good at this, and I think you'd like this, and you know at the time he was like in his 60s, and he was doing this stuff, and everyone in our town wanted to be like Dr. Lewis. You know, he looked real good, he looked
Yeah.
in shape, he was healthy, he was in shape, and he was the family doctor in our town. And so he's the one that got me onto CrossFit, and he kicked my butt the first day that we worked out together.
Wow.
And unfortunately for him, he ended up getting Parkinson's disease. And the doctors are blown away by how long he has been able to keep going.
Right.
And they said if it wasn't for his healthy lifestyle for such a long time, and for him doing CrossFit and doing functional movements and performing them at high intensity, you know, they said he probably would have passed a long time ago.
There you
and,
go.
And so our goal is to keep people away from the nursing home. That is. We
Yep.
want you to be able, if you get older and you fall down, we want to teach you how to get up. And we want to build strength so that the person who just fell down, when they're home by themselves, we want to build the strength so that you can get up off the ground and you're not having to rely on someone else.
Right.
Because, you know, I'm sure we all, and, you know, maybe yourself, but I have family members that are in the nursing home, and it's really sad to see that they can't be dependent on themselves.
Yeah.
And-
Believe me, I know. Yeah.
And I'm sure if they could go back in time and know the outcome of them
Yeah.
not being dependent or being dependent on someone else, they would probably look to do something about it. And so that's what we are trying to get out there, that message that, hey, you know, we can teach you how to continue to be dependent on yourself.
Okay. Barry.
So would a lot of those principles apply to, like you mentioned, injuries and things like that, neuropathy? Would that, a lot of those things you mentioned help neuropathy too?
I mean, I can't say specifically that it would. You know, I don't have data in front of me that would say that. I'm sure someone out there has done studies for that and probably a lot of other things. So I mean, most people with illnesses that come in and they eat right, they work out, they come consistently, they see changes, and no matter what illness it is, most of the time they see an improvement.
Yeah.
I can't speak for that specific thing, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone did come in and say, this is, I would say, hey, I don't know if this is going to work, but you know what, we're going to try it.
But it's not gonna hurt you.
Exactly. At the end of the
Right,
day,
right.
it's like, you did something, you tried, and now you learned from that trial.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Barry.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We got next show coming up. We have some filmmakers that are going to be doing a film right here in Northbridge.
Oh, okay.
All right?
All right. Hey,
His name's
thank
Barry?
you very much, and thank you for the good information on health.
Barry.
Yeah. So Barry, when
Thank
are you
you.
coming in?
Yeah.
You still there, Barry?
Yeah, yeah.
When are you going to come in?
Well, now you're down there at Dunkin' Donuts, right?
No, so we're
No,
actually
no.
on 146 right before Tony's going southbound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you never know.
Hey, come in and just check the place out. I can give you some information on it, and I can. Yeah, I don't know if you caught the beginning of it, but everybody's first class is always free.
Oh, thank you.
So you can come in and just try a class out, see if it's for you, and then we can go from there and talk more about how we can make it more of a lifelong type of a program for you.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
And excellent. And thank you for having him on, Harry.
Okay, Barry.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, Barry.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nice guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Barry's a regular.
Is he?
Yeah.
He sounded like it.
Yeah, he lives right here in town.
Okay.
But,
Maybe we'll get him in here. Maybe
yeah.
maybe you and him can come together. when you get free time though.
I tell you, Mike, I get up in the morning and where'd the day go?
I feel you. Being a small business owner, I've gotten used to that a little bit. It's just like you have no idea where the time
what
goes.
I do here and my radio job, and
Yeah.
I'm on 3 committees in town, and it's
Yeah.
there's something going all the time. But that's what keeps me going.
That's good. Keep it up.
That's right. I
But
mean,
when you do slow down and you need something
Yes.
to supplement
Yes.
your not being so busy,
yeah,
you got to come in and see us.
we only got about 3 minutes left, so I want to give Zathan a chance here. He's located on 146 on the southbound side.
Right before Tony's.
Yeah, just before Tony's, a little bit after the Millbury-Sutton line. So, you know where Lenny's Liquors are. It's a little bit down from Lenny's Liquors.
Yep.
And it's a mall, small mall, mini mall. And it's all 3 coverage. You've got your rehab, your gym, and your vitamin supplements.
Yep.
So you can do your one-stop shopping for your body.
Yep. It is. And
And you offer the first time in, it's free.
yes, first
try it
time's
out.
free for anyone, but one thing that, I appreciate you letting me come on and kind of relay some of this information to the viewers, but what we do want to extend an offer for a free week for anyone who's watching and comes in. and-
Really?
yeah, so a free week.
Oh, what a deal, Barry.
There you go, Barry. Yeah, so if you come in, and I'm sure I'll remember Barry, though. He comes
Yeah.
in and says Barry, I'll know who that is. But for anyone else, if you come in and you say, hey, I saw you on
On NCTV.
on NCTV,
Yeah.
we'll give you a free week to try it. So
Yeah.
there you have nothing to lose.
Well, if you say that they saw you on TV, where else would it be?
Well, that's true, too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
I'm not on TV very much, so
Right.
at
So,
all.
Here's a great opportunity. And I tell you, if you got arthritis, it is the route to go. I do exercise in the morning. I firmly do that.
Keep it up. Keep
Yep.
doing it. Yep.
I
And
think-
that's another thing I'd like to say too. I love what I do, and but there's a lot of other people out there that do the same thing, and if it's not with us, and it's with someone else, still look into some sort of fitness program to keep yourself active. I think it's really important.
If you watch the old kids shows, they say, make sure to eat your vegetables, say your prayers, and do your exercise.
Yep, exactly.
There you go,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, and you can find us on Facebook, CrossFit AC Athletic Center. You can find us on Instagram. We've got CrossFit AC, CrossFit-AC.com with some more information. We're redoing our website right now, so we got a lot of cool things coming, and you know, we hope that you guys can come and try it out. You get a free week, so you got literally have
There you
nothing to
go.
lose, but maybe a little bit of weight.
Okay, we gotta go. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, 8 o'clock, with our next guests, who are some filmmakers that are gonna be shooting a movie right down here on the Little League field. So we'll see you in about 5 minutes.